Good evening. It's something no homeowner wants, noisy neighbors. And when you're used to the quiet serenity of an out-of-town acreage, well, industrial companies setting up next door isn't ideal. The RM of Britannia is looking at some changes to the property bylaw, and that has some residents speaking out. Anika Nottveit has more.
If that leads to industrial, then what's saying this one won't lead to industrial? And that here is very close to my house as far as I'm concerned.
Darlene Waring takes pride in the plot of land she has just 2 kilometers east of the city and doesn't want to see it change.
And I don't want my property value dropping because of industrial area. And I'm sure anybody on that council, that's the last thing you want is a truck yard or pipe yard or anything that has noise all hours of the night. You want to sleep at night.
Right now, the bylaw in place protects landowners by keeping industrial yards at least half a mile from residential property. Council is looking to get rid of that bylaw and held a public hearing last week.
Well, we've asked the questions and listened to the people that are, or to their comments, and now we'll go home and think about it and make our decision next meeting.
A lot of people in the RM weren't happy with how they heard, or rather didn't hear about the changes, with just a few notices posted in a local paper around Christmas time. But the Reeve says they followed protocol.
Yeah, we're doing it by what we were told to do it, and if they want change there, they'll have to go to the province, as far as I'm thinking. I might be wrong, but as far as I know, we're doing it right.
Now, Darlene Waring's land will be directly affected by the changes to the bylaw, but she isn't the only one, and she took it into her hands to tell others.
I let them know that I showed them the information, I showed them the bylaw change, the information that was in the paper, and they were quite concerned. And if I'm concerned, I'm sure a lot of people would be concerned.
With plenty of feedback at the public meeting, Council says they will take comments into consideration and a decision will be made at the next meeting on February 12th. Anika Nottveit, Newcap News.
Well, Council is back in action today after being off since the Christmas break. And as Anika Nottveit reports, there were plenty of topics to discuss.
Today at City Council, Ken Baker was officially sworn in. As well, the city agreed to purchase a piece of land outside of the airport for $1 million. As well, the city discussed the future plans for the Lloydminster Rescue Squad as their building is in question right now. Moving forward, the rescue squad will be discussing with city administration and making a report for the future. Now, Highway 17 was also discussed. The construction will begin underground this summer. We'll have more details on these stories tomorrow on Newcap News. Reporting from City Hall, Anika Nottveit.
Well, the ability to read and write is something many of us take for granted, but according to Stats Canada, more than 40% of adults in the country have low literacy skills. Now, a national initiative is hoping to change that. Today marks Family Literacy Day in Canada, and as Bart Patiasic reports, the Lloydminster Learning Council teamed up with one local school in the SPCA to mark the occasion in a unique way.
The man got dressed in a clown suit.
With his head in a book, this is where you can normally find 8-year-old Bohdi Dougin. The grade 3 student says he reads almost every night.
I think my favorite book to read is about war and stuff like that.
That's an attitude Jack Kemp teacher Cindy Ostreicher encourages in all of her students.
When the students are learning to read, they can read for information, they can read for entertainment, and by practicing your reading and becoming a better reader, then you get to go to all these wonderful places and worlds that you might not have been able to go to before, thanks to being able to read a book.
And to mark National Family Literacy Day, this grade 3 class was able to show off their reading skills to some new four-legged friends. The idea was a brainchild of the Lloydminster Learning Council, who organized different reading events for the occasion.
It might be playing a game, it might be reading with a pet or a buddy, or singing, rhyming, inventing a story. So it's much more than just reading a book.
As for how to encourage literacy in your kids, Ostreicher says it's easy.
Read, read, read. read because it's fun, read because you enjoy it. My class will tell you that I don't like giving homework, but I do ask that they read and read because they enjoy reading.
A message Bohdi hears loud and clear.
It could get your stamina up for reading, and it could get you ready for like middle school and high school to get to know that you have homework to do and you have to finish it.
Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.